Hi there. This is a brief video about how to get under the hood of the recall system and understand a bit more about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And particularly, you might want to look at what monitoring we're doing for different medications and different conditions. Obviously, you can do that in the recall overview on a patient by patient basis, but it may be that you want to look across the whole system. So in this video, I'm going to show you briefly how to do that. So the place you want to go to is patient status alerts, and rather than trying to find where it is on the menu, you start typing for it down here. You can navigate to it. All of ours have got the kind of IHS for our business name, Innovative Health Systems, at the start. And the ones you're likely to be most interested in would be probably monitored conditions and monitored medication. If you've not already got it on, I would recommend doing this show hide details. And you can see here the message, which is what you see on the recall overview. And as you go down, you can see for each thing what's in place. So for example, for CKD, you can see kind of the usual setup. You can also see though that if someone's at CKD5, they're on 3 monthly monitoring and so on. And you can kind of see as well what drives that. So here you can see the report that configures this. If you click on this blue eye, let me drag that over here, you can see a bit more. So basically, essentially, it's someone who happens to be CKD G4 A3 needs 4 monthly monitoring according to the guidance. You may also notice here you've got this right-click action to view guidelines. That works nicely if you are in a patient record. It doesn't work if you're trying to understand the way we've done it. What you can do though, can you see down here it says action monitoring guidelines for CKD? So if you type in CKD, it brings up our URL here. Let me bring that across. And here you can see kind of what's driven, sort of what's the clinical guidance, if you like, behind the decisions we've made. Of course, with lots of this, there isn't one particular set of guidance. Often there's lots. If there are things that you think are missing or things you think that shouldn't be in there, do let us know. Sometimes there's hopefully a good reason why we're doing what we're doing, but there might be reasons to add things in. So do send us the kind of guidance or the rationale, or it might be local pathways that need extra things and we can review those. You can also see certain things can be to do with the way your practice is configured. If we go to, say, methotrexate, 3 monthly monitoring. So you can see here you've got ESR and CRP. It varies quite a bit, it seems. Some areas ask practices to do that every 3 months. Some don't want either, some want just one. So although that's the kind of general setup, it may be for your practice that ESR and CRP is not included. That's a kind of localization that we'll have gone through with you when you first joined us. Again, if it's not right, let us know. We can review that and change that. Again, you've got the link to the guidelines. We're trying to make this as useful as we can. So we've recently put in more detail, like for example, sulfasalazine monitored by secondary care. So that means you might be prescribing it, but secondary care are monitoring it. So that patient's not going to be invited for monitoring on there. Other bits like this, you might see, for example, here it says every 12 months, and then it says every 6 months. So if you dig into it a bit more with the blue eye, you can see there's a localization option. So our default is to do 6 monthly monitoring after they've been on it for a year. But if your practice is in this list, or if you get it added into that list, then it would instead be 12 monthly. There's a lot in there. There's a good few hundred status alerts for these things. But hopefully that gives you enough information to kind of look around and see what's going on. The other thing, one last thing that can be useful. So again, if you click on the blue eye here, as much as possible, we try and use action groups for identifying patients with meds on repeat. It means that if, say, a new medication comes out that's in that action group or a new branded version, the system's automatically up to date. Unfortunately, with some, it's not always possible to do that. Let's have a look if that's the case on Dapzone. No, so this would be an example where it's not. So you can see what we've included. We regularly review these and try and make sure we're including anything else that's a sort of branded equivalent. But again, if things are missing, obviously let us know, and we will update that as soon as you let us know. But yeah, we try and keep it up to date. It gets reviewed regularly. We've got a clinical governance committee who look at guidelines and look at suggestions from practices. So it's not kind of as straightforward as you just going, well, please change this, and we do. But if there's a clear rationale, then obviously we'll take that on board. We want to make the system as accurate, as up to date, as good as it can be. Hope that helps. Let us know if anything else you need help with. Thanks.